So essentially, I'm going to make this video on Palantir's earnings call from last quarter, which was on 8/5/2024. It's about 11:30 on a Saturday night, so I'm kind of tired. So I'm going to try to make this quick, but I also want to go through and give you an idea of why I like Palantir for the long term, what I'm seeing right now in their business that's happening. And, basically they're just talking about their business in this earnings call and what's going on with it at this particular moment and what they're seeing in, the short-term future here. I'm going to go and kind of explain things as the earnings call goes along. We're only going to listen to, the front half of it. And I'm going to give some of my thoughts on some of the things. I'll pause it and then come in and talk about it. And I know I told, some people that I would make this. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this video here on Palantir's last earnings call. I think it was a pretty good earnings call. But I'm just going to get down to business here and let it play. You know what I mean?
Over to Ryan to start the call.
We are thrilled to report tremendous results for our business, driven foremost by strong execution in our U.S. commercial business and continued U.S. government business acceleration. Overall revenue growth, excluding strategic commercial contracts, accelerated to 30% year over year and 10% sequential in Q2. Our exceptional results are a reflection of a market that is quickly awakening to a reality that our customers have already known. We stand alone in our ability to deliver enterprise AI production impact at scale. We are delivering these results in the face of an unprecedented enterprise AI opportunity. As noted by Sequoia, the revenue expectations from the AI ecosystem's infrastructure buildout have grown from $200 billion to $600 billion per year in just 9 months. The world is struggling with this huge problem. There's a great bottleneck between prototype and production. The world has also come to understand what we've been saying all along. The standard playbook does not and will not work. It cannot solve this problem. While many companies can build prototypes, the leap from prototype to production is substantial. Palantir has made that leap. Our focus is on deploying enterprise AI in production, solving meaningful problems for our customers. We have the right products at the right time, and our history means that we understand this $600 billion opportunity unlike anyone else in the space. We are uniquely situated, and you see that in our results now. Last quarter, we signed 27 deals worth $10 million or more and closed nearly $1 billion of TCV.
All right. So basically, if you can quantify that, 27 in last quarter, 27 deals of $10 million or more. Now, when you think about that, that's $270 million, but it's spread out over the course of a few years. But that's a pretty big deal. And these numbers have been getting bigger over the course of the last, I'd say, 4 to 5 quarters, that the number of large deals is increasing. And that is incredibly important. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play some more. I just wanted to say that.
One of the most notable indicators of our delivery is the volume of existing customers who are signing expansion deals, many of which are a direct result.
And then also, just like he said, the amount of customers that are signing expansion deals. And what that is basically let's say Lennar Home Builders, one of their customers, had, a deal for $10 million a year, right, for the last 3 years. But this time they came in and they were like, well, we want to use your software in these other parts of our business, and we need you to help us do these things. So why don't we do 20 million? Let's double that. Now, I'm not saying that happened, but this is just like an example. And so what's happening is not just Lennar Home Builders, but many of their customers are signing expansion deals. And that's huge because these are already existing customers, not customers they're going out and getting, but they're getting more money from the customers they currently have. And I think that's huge. It's because their software is so good. All right, so we'll keep going.
Result of AIP. We continue to see the greatest transformation in our U.S. commercial business, evident in the many AIP-driven deals closed last quarter. Our U.S. commercial revenue, excluding strategic commercial contracts, climbed 70% year over year. Our U.S. commercial ACV closed was up 44% year over year and up 19% sequentially, while our deal count in U.S. commercial was nearly twice what it was just a year ago. We maintain conviction in our ability to land new customers and subsequently expand those engagements as we sharpen our focus to taking our customers across the chasm from prototype to production. Tampa General signed a 7-year expansion, deploying AIP to deliver a care coordination operating system where we've helped them reduce patient length of stay by 30%. Panasonic Energy of North America signed a 3-year expansion using AIP across finance, quality control, and manufacturing operations. AARP shared they're utilizing AIP to provide targeted, personalized experiences for their 29 million unique visitors on a monthly basis. Eaton deepened our relationship, leveraging AIP to modernize ERP deployments in addition to finance, sales, and supply chain use cases. Kinder Morgan signed a 5-year Foundry and AIP enterprise expansion with production use cases including storage optimization, pipeline integrity monitoring, and power optimization. These are just a handful of the significant expansions last quarter into production with AIP, and the magnitude of expansion is notable. A major North American industrial company started working with us in late 2022, expanded to a $5 million run rate in 2023, and further deepened engagement to a $20 million run rate this year.
All right, so do you understand how absolutely important that is? To go from where they went to now $20 million a year run rate, that's incredible. Now think about that. I mean, this is one specific customer, right? But think about, and we may not see, the other customers go to 20 million a year or what have you. But what if they just, up their usage and spend another million or two a year, right? How big that could be. And as they grow, it's not just like current customers, but future customers or customers that are just getting in, that are just trying it out, right? What happens when they start expanding? It's becoming a common theme. If you can understand, he said this is just a handful of them, right? If you think about like, what if like 50, 60, 70%? Let's just call it, we'll go a very small amount, just a handful of their customers, 20% expand, but they continue to grab new customers like he said they're confident in getting, right? Because their software is the best. Okay, so let's say they only expand business with 20, which is probably pretty low probability that it's going to be 20%. We're probably looking a way bit more. But when you think about that, it's just those are current customers, not new customers. When we get to the amount of customers they have, and then you start to like quantify how many businesses are out there that they could have, it starts to get a bit ridiculous. I'm going to go back to the earnings call here.
America's leading hospitals began working with us in 2021, generated approximately $1.5 million of revenue in 2022, over $4 million of revenue in 2023, and is on track to generate nearly $15 million of revenue this year. With regard to landing new customers, U.S. commercial customer count grew 83% year over year last quarter. Boot camps remain a key.
All right, so did you get that? U.S. commercial customer count grew 83%. Think about like all of these customers' competition. Because that's what drives it all, is like when these customers that are just coming on to Palantir start showing meaningful and they will. They start showing meaningful improvements in the business, and they start really outcompeting their competition. Their competition is going to be like, what the are they doing? You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to have those customers come in. I mean, they're giving examples here of the amount of growth per customer spend. It's astronomical to go from 4 million to 15. Like, think about that. That's like almost that's a 3.5x, or more than a 3.5. That's 3.75x, right? From what they were spending a year ago. Pretty big. It's pretty big. Let's keep going.
Key go-to-market motion, particularly for prototyping what is possible with AI. But the real opportunity and our unique capability lies in moving from prototype to production with these customers. That is where we are focused. We closed a 7-figure deal with a large wholesale insurance brokerage firm for an initial production automated policy review use case just 16 days after the bootcamp. A leading convenience store chain went from prototype at a bootcamp to paid pilot in 25 days, then converted the inventory management and pricing optimization use case into initial production immediately following the pilot. Our product charisma remains unparalleled. We plan to leverage this combination of boot camps and pilots with a focus on moving towards high-value production use cases to continue landing new customers. At the same time, we are heightening our concentration towards building deep production-level relationships with every single customer. The phenomenal strength of our U.S. government business shows the power and scale of our enterprise software delivery. Our U.S. government business continued accelerating, growing more than 8% sequentially for 2 consecutive quarters. We proudly received several notable awards last quarter, including a production contract from the Department of Defense Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office, CDAO, to deploy and scale an AI-enabled operating system across the DoD, starting with an initial order of $153 million to support certain combatant commands and the Joint Staff, while additional awards can be made up to $480 million over a 5-year period. This award reflects the criticality of our software in our nation's defense capabilities. Shortly after, CDAO announced a new initiative, Open Dagger, to enable defense tech companies, traditional contractors, and government developers to develop applications and integrations on top of Maven, powered by Palantir, in a contract worth $33 million. We maintain pride in the mission-critical impact of our products and celebrate the long-term strength of our U.S. government business, evident in last quarter's results. Looking ahead, I've never felt more bullish about our business than I do today. We're charging full steam ahead, leading our customers across the bridge from prototype to production.
All right, so bullish means positive, essentially, in the stock market world. Bullish means positive. And when the C-level executives start talking about how bullish they are on their business or positive, outlook on their business, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, to think about we feel good about our business, or, I feel the best about the business that I've ever, in the past 20 years that I've worked here, or the past 10, 15 years that I'm not sure exactly how long this guy's been, with the company, but I know it's probably definitely more than a decade, right? When you think about that, this is the best he's ever felt about the business. That's huge. That's huge, because when you think about it, this guy right here knows more than, just about anybody except for the other C-level executives, but they're all, they all know all the way about the business. I mean, they all have their little subsections of what they work on and what they do. But I mean, when you think about it, you got to understand that these guys know about the freaking business. Now, they could go on their earnings call and lie, but that's not Palantir's, thing. They're not pulling, chicanery, and it's showing up in the numbers, and it's showing up in the way the customers talk about it, because so Palantir has what they have, AIP cons, and they put it on their YouTube channel, just like this is on their YouTube channel. And these AIP cons basically the customers come on and they talk about how great Palantir software is and what it's doing for their businesses. And so I would suggest, if you're even thinking about investing in this company, to at least, even if you don't understand it, you can understand a little bit. You know, the fact that Palantir is helping them do this, that, and this. You should at least go on to their YouTube page, Palantir Technologies, and watch the AIP cons and watch the customers talk about how great Palantir is and how much they help their business make more money or save money. Anyways, let's keep this going.
With our ever-expanding product capabilities laying the paths for that journey. I'll now turn it over to Sham to share more details.
Thanks, Ryan. Our customers have been ahead of investors in markets. Customers choose us not because we're delivering proofs of concepts, but because we deliver proof. Years of foundational investments in our infrastructure, and in particular in ontology, I'll note a widely ignored and discounted innovation, have put us in the pole position. Gen AI has made prototyping incredibly easy and charismatic, but with the same utility of a PowerPoint slide. The journey to production, as the market is now discovering, is fraught and requires a foundational set of technologies that we have uniquely invested in, creating the product pipeline that's needed to harvest economic value from AI. And that's a journey that we were pathfinders on with the U.S. Department of Defense starting in 2018, and one we continue to be the leaders in across both segments, government and commercial, today. The bottleneck and the transition from prototype to production is a very hard set of technical problems. We didn't build those technologies eating berries in San Francisco. We had to be on the factory floor, in the foxhole, eating pain with our customers, seeing the secret truths of what does and doesn't work and metabolizing it into product. This has always been the secret of Palantir. It is the anti-playbook. Today's AIP developers will be the enterprise's next generation of builders. Apollo delivers eye-watering agility and responsiveness. AIP deprecates back-end development.
All right, so did you catch that where he said they were in the foxhole eating the pain with the customers? What he means by that is, so it's not just a software these guys deploy, right? But they also send people that work for them to these customers to work with them through the issues the companies are having to make their businesses more efficient. So it's not just, here's our software, use it. This is how you use it. It's, here's our software, here's a couple of our employees. We want to build something specifically for your business and your issues that you're having to help you get better results within your business. And I think that's so important, because they're not focused on how much money they're getting. They're focused on how good a results their customers are getting. And that is so freaking important. All right.
The same way that hyperscalers deprecated infrastructure, providing the mechanism to bring AI into production in the enterprise quickly. Our builder investments are feeding our product pipeline with our customers, developers in the wild. Compute modules have enabled the integration of our customers' own containerized applications into operational workflows. Today, this technology is powering exquisite missile warning systems in the U.S. government and sophisticated production plan optimization across commercial. An Ontology SDK has enabled customers to build their own pro-code applications backed by Ontology, the critical ingredient for harnessing LLMs in the enterprise. And we pulled all of these investments together in Code Workspaces, where we have enabled an end-to-end development environment that lets customers treat their business as code. These investments have made us the emerging choice, not only for application developers, but also data scientists. Our platforms have become the fastest place for our customers to develop, refine, and manage not only their models, but integrated offerings that deliver business impact. Once again, history is repeating itself with data scientists as they abandon the thin playbook products of the past. We recently hosted 2 Champions Road events, one in Denver and one in Munich, that pulled together the most experienced and prolific customer developers to share the latest on our roadmap, but more importantly, to surface new opportunities to go deeper. At build.palantir.com, developers in the US, UK, Canada, and India, amongst a growing list of countries, can now access a free developer tier and a library of quick starts, tutorials, and reference implementations for themselves. This developer movement is matched on the government side, whether it's with developers in Armed Forces Ukraine or the US Army. In government, CDAO's recent contract award on Maven will enable us to scale those exquisite capabilities to the DoD enterprise and to bring integrated JADC2 capabilities across space, cyber, electronic warfare, and logistics. The CDAO Open Dagger contract also enables defense tech companies, traditional contractors, and government developers to leverage Apollo and the Ontology Software Development Kit OSDK to develop applications and integrations on top of Maven, all powered by Palantir's Mission Manager. And finally, fresh out of the AIP product pipeline, we are launching a new offering, Warp Speed, to power American reindustrialization. The software playbooks have also failed in manufacturing, and all the founders driving reindustrialization know it. This is why SpaceX built their own ERP. We created Warp Speed from our years of experience on the factory floors, helping customers build planes, trains, automobiles, and even ships. Today, we power production of jet engines, satellites, and weapon systems in the industrial base. Warp Speed, built on AIP, on our industrial AI, and with Ontology, is the modern American manufacturing operating system that reimagines how to bend atoms better with bits. At the dawn of World War II, we didn't have a defense industrial base, we had an American industrial base. Chrysler made missiles, and General Mills wasn't just a cereal company. This is also what our future must look like. It is clear that the nation must reindustrialize and mobilize at warp speed to win. This platform will transform production in the value chains that power our kill chains. I'll turn it over to Dave to talk us through the financials.
All right, so what I picked up there is that basically this warp speed and this idea they got is that, and they're probably going to execute upon it, is that they're trying to reindustrialize the country. Now, I know you heard that, and you might not understand quite, what he meant by that, or exactly, right? What he's saying is basically they want to bring like industrialization back to the U.S., right? And how to do it, and how to make it efficient and cheap enough to scale that. I mean, think about more business being done in the U.S. instead of like China. This company is very anti-Chinese, very anti-Chinese. They won't. I guarantee you, they won't work with any Chinese companies, which might kill a little bit of business in the long run. But I don't think they really need Chinese business to be absolutely massive. But they're very anti-China, which I like about this company. They're very, very, very pro-American, which is something I also really love about this company. They want to ensure American prosperity, and I think that's going to be really, really big over the long run. The fact that they want to help all U.S. commercial companies, that's what I'm seeing and hearing, and have been noticing over the course of the last 2 years, is that they want to make sure American companies succeed and crush it. Not just succeed, but freaking crush it. And they want to help everybody. Now, that's not gonna probably happen. But what if it does? What if they can reach 90, 95, 99% of American enterprises? Wouldn't that be huge? The amount of customers. I know this video is running on, and I'm kind of tired. But I feel like, if you're listening to this point, bravo, because we're about to hear some good stuff here on the numbers, and then I'm going to call it quits for the night because I need to sleep. But when we think about like what they're trying to accomplish, is they're not just going for a little bit. They're going for everything. They're playing to win, essentially, and they've been winning, and so. That is why, you want to be invested in a company that's not just poised for growth, not just trying to grow, but is proving that they're growing, proving that they're better than everybody. And it shows in their numbers, and it shows in what the customers say at AIP cons. Anyways, I'm going to let this keep going.
Thanks, Sean. Q2 was an exceptional quarter. Revenue growth accelerated to 27% year over year, exceeding the high end of our prior guidance by 5%, driven by the strength in our U.S. commercial and government businesses. On the back of this strength, we are increasing our full-year revenue guidance midpoint to $2.746 billion, representing a 23% year-over-year growth rate. We delivered these tremendous top-line results while expanding adjusted operating margin to 37%, highlighting the strong unit economics of our business. We also delivered our 7th consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability, generating a record $134 million of GAAP net income, and our 6th consecutive quarter of GAAP operating profit, generating a record $105 million of GAAP operating income. Our revenue and profitability drove a 7-point sequential increase to our Rule of 40 score from 57 in the first quarter to 64 in the second quarter. Turning to our global top-line results. Revenue continues to accelerate. We generated $678 million in revenue, up 27% year over year and 7% sequentially. Excluding the impact of revenue from strategic commercial contracts, second quarter revenue grew 30% year over year and 10% sequentially. Customer count grew 41% year over year and 7% sequentially to 593 customers. Revenue from our largest customers continues to expand. Second quarter trailing 12-month revenue from our top 20 customers increased 9% year over year to $57 million per customer. Now moving to our commercial segment.
So did you catch that? $57 million per customer per their top 20. And they have what he just said, 593 million, or not 593 million, but 593 commercial customers total. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, if you go and you look at like customers total that they could have, oh my gosh. Imagine their top 100 customers spending $60 million a year, right? And it makes sense because Palantir would either save them more than that or make them more than that. It's always that way. Palantir doesn't try to gouge their customers. They're just attempting simply to help their customers make more money or save more money. Now, some of their biggest customers are definitely the DoD and the government, right? And like other governments around the world. Definitely allies to the U.S., but, you know, a lot of that big customers is coming from, you know, the U.S. government, the U.S. Department of Defense, and some European governments have been using them. But anyways, let's keep going.
Second quarter commercial revenue grew 33% year over year and 3% sequentially to $307 million. Excluding the impact from strategic commercial contracts, commercial revenue grew 40% year over year and 8% sequentially. Second quarter commercial TCV booked was $377 million, representing 31% growth year over year. Our U.S. commercial business continues to see unprecedented demand, with AIP driving both new customer conversions and existing customer expansions in the U.S. Second quarter U.S. commercial revenue grew 55% year over year and 6% sequentially to $159 million. Excluding revenue from strategic commercial contracts, U.S. commercial revenue grew 70% year over year and 8% sequentially. In the second quarter, we booked $262 million of U.S. commercial TCV, representing 152% growth year over year. Total remaining deal value in our U.S. commercial business grew 103% year over year and 11% sequentially.
All right, so I think that's pretty important to even think about, is that year over year, that grew 100+%. I mean, that's astronomical. You know what I mean? Those growth rates are pretty incredible. But anyways, I'm gonna cut it here. I'm pretty busted, tired. But yeah, I'll save it and then I'll post it in the morning. If you have a chance to make it this far, I appreciate it. Throw me a like, whatever. You know, if you like anything that I've been saying, I'm just trying to drop some knowledge. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll try to make more videos. I know I say that a lot, but I just get busy. You know what I mean? And work and everything in between. It makes it difficult to spend an hour on a video or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because before I even do a video, I do research and make sure that it's worth actually, going into and making a video about. You know what I mean? Anyways, y'all, have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later.